doing, guys? I wanted to make this video about what you should prepare for, because I know on my channel and on a lot of other people's channels we talk a lot about being prepared and what you should do to be prepared, different ways you can be prepared for every different category, self-defense, food, and everything. But we don't talk a lot about specifically what you should be prepared for, and there's a reason for that. And that reason is why I'm not really going to get into too many specifics in this video, is because once you start preparing for specific events, you lose a lot of the effectiveness and really capabilities that being prepared in general gives you. And I sort of referenced this in my one video called Don't Plan for an Economic Collapse, where a lot of people took issue with my use of grammar there, but I really think that there's a difference between planning and preparing. And that's another, I kind of wanted to reiterate that in this video, is that what are we really preparing for here? And we're not preparing for a specific event. You know, don't plan or even prepare for a one-time, you know, watershed moment, because even though those things can happen, it's really not likely, and it will take you and usually take you in a totally wrong direction in terms of not only what you're doing to prepare, but mentally how you're going to think about it, how you're going to live the rest of your life before and after this supposed event. Because if you look through history, even in all the times like I mentioned before, the Great Depression, any other type of collapse, even when they're actual collapses and not just, you know, a rough patch, but like the whole society or the whole country or government collapsed, it was never like an overnight thing. These were gradual progressions, and even if we're talking about days or weeks, that's still not a one-time thing. And you can't just be waiting for this moment to happen where everything's going to kick in, your plans all, you know, you bug out or whatever, all your plans kick into gear, because it's just not normally the way it's going to work. So that's why it's so important to focus instead on the specific things that you need and the specific ways that you want to be able to live your life, and then figure out how you're making that happen now and find out ways that those ways may be interrupted. So, you know, if you have a source of income, that may be interrupted. If you have a source of food, that may be interrupted. So you don't necessarily have to find one other way to switch over to that now. Like, for example, if you get your food from the grocery store, you don't have to all of a sudden be self-sufficient, but you got to have alternatives, because I really don't think it's realistic that overnight you won't be able to buy food in the grocery store. It's possible, but it's not realistic. So it's more, you know, useful to just prepare for not being so dependent on that and find other ways to get food. Just like with income, is it better to have all your income coming from one source that can be cut off, or to have multiple income streams, like I talked about in my last video on this channel, where so that you're a lot more resilient? And that's really what we're trying to build here, is resiliency. Whether that's for your finances, whether that's your body becoming resilient, that's what we're focusing on, is being resilient. And this will allow you to put up with a lot of different scenarios, whether that's a one-time event, which is unlikely, but it could happen, or whether that's a slow progression into a crappier society, or, you know, just the changing times, whatever. You know, new economies, everything, new technology, new demographics, or whatever. Most of those are just they're going to be changes, so you need to be resilient to change. And focusing on resiliency in all its forms is what's really important. So just like with your investments, you may be able to get the biggest % return from investing all in one place, but it's risky. And if you're just talking about money, you may be willing to make that risk. But when you're talking about every aspect of your life, you need to diversify there too, and not put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. And that's pretty much it, guys. So just make sure you're building towards resiliency in your personal life, in your financial life, and in your physical fitness, and that'll help you through whatever may come.